Good afternoon, kids. Today it's me again, Uncle BJ, here to talk about life and consequences. For every action, there is a consequence. This is a lesson that many of us should learn as young adults, but unfortunately, for some or even many, we don't learn this until much later in life. Every time we do something, it causes a reaction, and that is a consequence. So when you're out there in the world navigating, moving about, thinking about things that maybe you should do or should not do, then think carefully. Emotions can cause us to just do things that are crazy and that don't make sense. And then when the consequences come later, we're like, oh crap, why did this consequence happen? Why am I in this situation? Well, think back a little bit. Think back about the actions that you took that led to the circumstance that you're in right now. Hello? So, I was a young man. I wasn't born this age. And when I was a young man, I remember one day I was riding the bus. And I had a little job, and this was back in the 80s. So you could have almost any job, it didn't even matter. And you could afford an apartment, pay your utilities, have a little money in the bank, and still be able to party with your friends on the weekends. It was a different world, trust me, than what it is now. And I don't know, I was coming from somewhere. I was on the bus. I had some money in my pocket because back then, even ATM cards weren't as popular as they are now. They were around, but people just weren't using them in the ways that we use them now. And I sat in the back of the bus because that's where the only seats were. And there were these folks playing the 3-card Monte. You know that game where they shuffle around the cards and there's something, you got to find the card, or I don't know. We've all seen this game. It's a scam. I know it's a scam now. Guess what? I didn't know it was a scam back then. And I was at first not paying them any mind because I was like, I don't know these people. They're having fun playing their game. And I didn't play cards. I still don't play cards. And any card games. I know I lost my black heart with some of my listeners already, right? Because I don't know how to play spades and all that stuff. At any rate, they're playing the game. They did their whole making noise and making it sound exciting and interesting. And sure enough, they piqued my interest. They got me to play the game. And I played and I lost a little bit of money. Not a lot of money, thank God. But enough. And when I was getting off the bus, they were like, aha, you lost your money, you lost X dollars. I was like, oh, that's okay. I've got a job. I'll make it back in a day or so. And that stunned them because their job was scamming people. I had a real job to go to, thank goodness. But that money that I had lost on that little game that I played with them wasn't a lot, but that was my partying money for that weekend. So as a result, I couldn't go out that weekend. I had to stay home. And my buddy was like, well, how come you're not going out? I couldn't tell him, well, I lost my drinking money playing a stupid card game on the back of the bus. So I just stayed home. If I had told him I needed him to cover me, he would have done it, right? Because he was a good friend. But there was a consequence. And so that's the point of the story. For every action, there's a consequence. When you're young and you're making decisions, you often think, oh, well, this will only affect right now. And I know that it's difficult to think of how your making process now may affect your life in the future. It will. It will affect your life in the future. So try to start thinking about your decision-making process, why you make the choices you make, how you come to those conclusions to make those choices, and what the short-term and possible long-term consequences will be, right? I'm not saying don't live in the moment because sometimes it's worth it to live in the moment. I've had those moments, I've lived in those moments, and I don't regret those moments. But there are other moments that we need to look at and think about more critically, more seriously on why we're making the decisions we're making. Some decisions we make based out of trauma. Some decisions we make based out of fear or anxiety. Other decisions we make out of greed. I thought I was going to beat those 3 scammers on the back of that bus. And they pretended they didn't know each other. And it turned out they were all working together. And I lost my couple dollars. So it's funny now, but I was pissed off that day. Anyway, I hope this has helped someone. For every action, there is a consequence. And just think about life and how you navigate life and how the decisions you make, for each decision that you make, there is a consequence. This is your Uncle BJ. I love you guys. I'll be back real soon with more advice. Peace.